Hello everybody, this is Felrus. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are having a great time and I'm so glad you joined me to have some fun playing Raid today. Now in this video we are going to be talking about how to gear a champion properly, alright? And to do that we are going to look at the two hardest builds I have on my account. One is Calamitous and the other is Shayak here. Now, I will do a dedicated video demonstrating him when I have him at a more usable level, 6 stars with a good banner, right? Right now, I'm just in the process of building him, trying to make sure that, his build works and everything. I already used him on a Hydra key to great effect, so we are going to just kind of talk about what I did, right? Now, the first thing that I like to look at when gearing a champion, deciding on what kind of build, right, is their kit, right? What are their skills? What do they need to be doing? This also, their type helps as well, just a little bit, most of the time. Like, if it's someone like a Cult Brawler here, all his damage is based on attack. But generally, this is where your damage is coming from. So, right, his A1, his damage is based on his HP, right? Now, generally that also means his HP is going to scale very well. So considering things like HP percentage substats, HP percentage main stats on the lower 3 pieces, right? That's all going to scale very well. That also tells me that he is a tank, right? Or at least very sustainable. So that's something I look at. And then I also look at his kit, alright? And generally you get the most value out of the A2 and the A3 and the passive, right? So in this case I'd probably start with the A3, right? Fills the turn meter of all allies by 25%. Alright, it doesn't need any stats, it's cool. Also has an 80% chance of placing a block buffs debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. This debuff cannot be resisted if at least one Terror Beast, Gore Mask, Hound Spawn, Hellfang, Fellhound, or Stitched Beast is on the same team. Alright, so I look at that and I say, alright, we've got a debuff. We've got a debuffer. This doesn't hit. This is great. We can place it through Poison Cloud, right? We can place it in Arena. We can place it on Dungeons. Basically, anywhere we want a block buff, this is about as good as you're going to get. As far as a block buffs skill goes, right? Because it doesn't hit, which means we don't run into affinity issues. So I look at that and I say, okay, do I plan to run him with a Hound? Right? That's the weird thing about this champion particularly, because normally, like, these conditional things, it's like, okay, well, do I want to bring, like, heal reduction or whatever, right? But this one is, do I want to dedicate a certain spot on my team to a Hound? And generally, I say, you know what, relying on that, these Hounds, they aren't the best in the game, they aren't great, they're fun, but they're not great. And so I would say, no, I don't want to run him with a Hound, which means he needs accuracy, alright? So that's the first stat that I see from him. Alright, next I look at the passive, right? Passive, when attacked, places a Hex debuff on the attacker for 1 turn. Ally attacks on targets under a Hex debuff placed by this champion deal 20% more damage, alright? Then he counterattacks, or sorry, all the Hounds counterattack when he's attacked, alright? So he needs accuracy anyway. Great. So clearly accuracy is going to be a stat priority for him, alright? Then I come and look at the A2. Removes all debuffs from this champion and heals them by 50% of their max HP. Then places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns. The value of the shield is equal to any surplus heal. The shield buff cannot be removed, stolen, or transferred if at least 1 Hound is on the same team. Finally, places taunt and 30% reflect damage on this champion for 2 turns. These buffs cannot be removed, stolen, transferred if at least 1 Hound is on the same team. Alright, again, do I want to run him with Hounds? We already decided from this ability, no, we don't. Which means he probably needs resistance. And the reason he needs resistance is because this is a great skill for mischief tanking. Alright, he's giving himself 3 buffs. Okay? Which means that we put Lightning Cage or something on him, he's automatically going to have the most buffs on the Hydra team. So he's a mischief tank, alright? He's also probably going to be good in Cursed City or Siege, right? Because of the taunt. And the taunt is going to make sure that he's targeted and not other people. And then he'll do a little bit of damage with a 30% reflect damage as well. Alright, so he needs accuracy. He needs resistance. Alright? Also, what else does this tell us? It tells us that he needs speed. Not too much speed, but he needs probably under 220 speed, or anywhere from like 210 to 220 speed, because we want him to go faster than the Head of Mischief, but not so fast that he's running through these buffs. Alright? Next, the A1, decrease defense, and then we can ignore the Hound thing, because that is, we decide we aren't going to use them. Alright? So, he needs accuracy, he needs resistance, he needs speed, and he needs HP, because this shield is based on the surplus heal, which is based on his own HP. Alright, so we need those 4 stats, alright? Well, thankfully, we can choose 3 of those stats in the bottom 3 pieces, right? So I say, okay, he needs resistance, he needs accuracy, he needs HP. Which of those can I get a boost on from these bottom 3 pieces, right? I can get accuracy, I can get all 4. Alright? So it becomes a question of which 3. Now, really what I have to choose is between accuracy and resistance. Because I can get HP on the gloves, I can get speed on the boots, but I have to choose either accuracy or resistance on the chest plate. Those can't be on the boots or on the gloves, and speed can't be on the chest plate or the gloves, right? So the obvious thing to do is go with HP on the gauntlets and speed on the boots. But what about the chest plate, right? Well, the way I decided this is which stat is harder to get, right? You need significantly more resistance than you do accuracy, right? So for normal Hydra, which is what my clan is currently on right now, normal Hydra, you need 355 resistance to reliably resist the Head of Mischief. And you only need like 85 accuracy. Alright? So considering that 355 is a lot, I went with resistance on the chest plate. Now, I also had a perfect chest plate here because it's mythical with extra roll into accuracy. So we've got 42 extra accuracy also coming in with this chest plate, which is really nice. Alright, so we've got speed on the boots. We decided to go resistance on the chest plate and HP on the gauntlets, right? We've got 6-star HP, which will be great. Alright, so what about the top 3 pieces? Well, with the top 3 pieces, I decided that I was going to focus on the substats and trying to complete any sets here, right? You can see I've got him in accuracy and I've got him in speed, right? The reason I have that is because, well, we are dedicating a lot to speed, right? And this speed set helps us get to that stat requirement between 210 and 220, right? So we have 214 speed on him, right? He's one of the slowest, if not the slowest, on my Hydra team, all right? 214 speed. So he's not going to run super fast so that we don't run out of those buffs